All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So, I'm going to get into rebuilding your confidence on this podcast. If you know anything about me, I try to help men with their confidence, regardless what they've been through. It could be a bad breakup or divorce. It could be wanting to lose or gain weight. It could be whatever the hell they want it to be. I really want to help men, and if women want me to help them as well, really see all their strengths that they have, because I think a lot of us get really caught up with a lot of our weaknesses. And I think a lot of people don't want to admit sometimes that they need to kind of rebuild their confidence. And I definitely went through this. And it was actually my ex-wife who confronted me on it. It was when I was getting a divorce. I just felt in shambles. Not only because of my divorce. And a lot of people think, you go through a divorce, It's very hard. But I had one of the best divorces ever because my ex-wife is one of the coolest women I've ever met, knew how to handle me, knew how to handle the situation, and did everything, in my eyes, right, and I tried to do right by her. I'm not here to toot either our horns, but it was heartbreaking, though. There's no question when you're getting a divorce, but I also was in the midst of failing, for many years, working on a slate of films that I wanted to work on. And that failed right at the same time. And then the economy took a huge shit, which that's on me. If the economy takes a shit and you fail through that, that's kind of on me. So that was another thing. This is all 2008-ish. And then I stopped working for my father, so I didn't have a job. So I had all this shit, boo-hoo for me. Who cares? But I had a lot of shit coming down, and I was just shattered. I was broken, man. And she would be the one to say, listen, I don't like to see you like this. You got to kick this in the ass. This isn't you. She used to say, this isn't you. And I was just like, then who the hell am I? I just felt like the biggest failure in the world. And even when it came to, you're getting a divorce, you're going to have to start dating other women. And that, meeting women and dating women was, if there's ever been anything pretty easy for me, it's meeting women. I don't know, maybe it was my environment and being comfortable around them. That doesn't mean I'm some pickup artist or any of that stuff. I mean, I wrote a book called Wingman to help men when it comes to just, I think, being comfortable around women and having fun. But, it wasn't that. And I think a lot of guys, after they go through a divorce, either they become very desperate. I call it desperate. They end up just going with whoever likes them, whatever. That wasn't what I was worried about. I think I was more worried about failing in front of my children. And me, I kind of wanted to always succeed. One of my daughters, or actually both of them, really loved movies. They loved television. They knew I made a couple films. And they knew, I loved the fashion industry and I loved all these different things. And it just seemed like I didn't have anything really to offer them anymore as far as like my identity. Like, you're a divorced dude, you're not working. You didn't get to make your up. My kids weren't stupid. They were old enough to understand I was working on something for many years, raising money for, to make more films. And I'm sure maybe on their end they felt bad maybe for me. I don't know, but I was just embarrassed. I think I was embarrassed for my parents as well. I've discussed this before on my podcast. I think a lot of things we do, we don't want to admit. A lot of it, I believe, is for our parents. We want to show them that we succeeded. We want to, you know what I mean? We're little clone versions of them, I guess, to a certain degree. And we want to show them that we succeeded. That's why they, and I wasn't succeeding. That I could assure you. And so, again, I moved and I went to Georgia for a while, and I was really just lost. I was lost in space. I thought I'd go there. The film industry started to pick up there, and I went there, and I knew a really well-known producer, great guy. I was going to work with him, and I was there for like a month, and I said, I can't live here. I just didn't. I felt totally uncomfortable, out of my environment. Nothing against Georgia. People are wonderful there, actually. I goof around and say I don't belong there all the time. Maybe I'm just jokingly, but the truth is they're great. I love Bucktown, lived right over there, and visit there numerous amounts of times. And even before I moved there, I had no problem with it. When you live somewhere, you just don't feel it. So I ended up going to California, San Diego, to stay with my cousin. And I was shattered when I was there, and thank God I had my cousin. Both of my cousins were there. They're like my brothers. And I just slowly had to rebuild my confidence. I think one of the things that helped me was actually social media. And a lot of people don't want to say that, but my I originally had MySpace, and I had all these things up there. I could put all my videos and shorts and movies and stuff, and I had a lot of people on there, and then that went out of style, I guess. And a girl I was dating set me up on a Instagram, and I really wasn't. I'm like, I'm not starting all this over again. But I started to travel, and I just started putting up my favorite restaurants, I guess you could say, in New York and Boston. And I was living in California now. And slowly but surely, I must admit, like, I started to build some confidence because I knew people were out there kind of interested in what I was doing. I still felt like a huge failure. And I started, I don't know why, I kind of flipped out and said, you know what? Someone said I wrote up this outline for this modeling agency. I said there should be a school that's more advanced for models, like not just, say, Barbizon or John Casablanca. I said it should be more like a university where, because a lot of them schools, they'll teach you how to walk and certain things, but when you really got into the world of modeling, it's at a much higher level. So I wrote an outline, and then someone saw it and said, Rich, in LA, I can't remember, I think it was a designer I used to hang out with. A girl said, Rich, this needs to be a book. She's like, we went back and forth. She's like, yeah, a lot of models write books, but by the time, it could be whoever, they tell you their life story and how they became a model, and then they're outdated, because the industry changes. So I wrote it. It's called the Model Bible. But I said, am I going to write a book? What's interesting is I hung out at Barnes & Noble and I hated going to the library, but I loved hanging out at Barnes & Noble and reading. And I loved writing screenplays, and I was tired of doing that. But I said, let me challenge myself to help me build my confidence here a little bit and try something new. And I did. And just by doing something that I thought I never do, then really changed the outlook on myself. And, you're getting good reviews and some people not, but I went through that with my films, some people like them, some people hate them, some people found them interesting, some were lost. Everyone's got an opinion. But anyways, if you're in this situation, kind of where, you feel, you may not even feel that confident, or or you may not feel overly confident, whatever it is confidence-wise. I think we all go through these ups and downs in our life. But if you do feel, I guess you could say, like you're kind of like losing, I can't say interest in yourself, but losing kind of the umph to move forward regarding certain things. And it could be a relationship, it could be a project, it could just be like you just don't have it in you anymore to go forward. And I can understand that. And sometimes I do think, it's not only about building confidence to move forward, it's about figuring out why you're not confident. Why are you feeling a certain way? That doesn't also mean you're not insecure. A lot of people think, oh, he's not confident in himself, or he's not confident, he's insecure. That's not always the case. Sometimes you're just, you're kind of in the middle. You want to try something new and you just don't have enough knowledge, and you just don't know if you want to do it. It seems like a lot of times people are always preaching, you got to be all in or all out, right? Oh, you should be doing it. If you're not, you don't know what you're doing. Or it's kind of crazy. It's kind of reminds me of fitness a lot of times I talk about. People think all of a sudden because you decide you want to get healthier, you immediately have to go do something 4 to 6 times a week. You have to change your diet. You have to change your lifestyle. You have to work out and get crazy, get up in the morning or do all these things. The reality is it is what you make it. So when it comes to your confidence and building it, you got to create it and make it work for you. And I do think a lot of people do sometimes need maybe a boost in their confidence. I know I do. I can't speak for others, but sometimes I am lacking that confidence to move forward and really thinking about what really is holding me back. Is it because I'm insecure, or is it because I'm not as interested in it as I think I am? I'm kind of more interested in talking about it. So even my buddy Omar, who's my engineer, I'm always talking about writing rap songs with him. And for some reason, I never get around to it, which I may get around to it today. But my point being is, am I insecure? Is that why I'm not writing? He'll laugh at me, him and his buddies who are, musicians and all this. No. I've been kind of distracted and I've been kind of lazy. So again, I'm aware of these things where maybe maybe sometimes people think my point being is, back to rebuilding your confidence, maybe you just need to take a different approach. Your confidence may be there. You just don't even realize it. Maybe you're distracted, like I said. Maybe you're just not interested. And I think we just have to address all those type of things. But anyways, I thought I would share this. But Yeah, if you want to check out my book, it's wingman.com, and I have a Mastering Self-Confidence program where I really do try to help men. And there's so many different levels of, I believe, building confidence. It's kind of ridiculous, just in general, I think, for people to think. One thing people are always, they'll talk to me and they'll be like, Rich, you're confident in a lot of things. And I'm like, I don't have confidence in a lot of things. I can't lie about that. I don't want to go. There's a lot of things I'm not confident in. The things I'm interested in, that's where I work on my confidence. But that doesn't mean by any means that I'm confident in everything I do. And I think a lot of people go through that where they feel like, oh my God, everything now that I do and say I have to be confident in. The truth is, I know so much, less than I know more. So how would I be confident in everything I go after? I have to learn. It's about, like I was saying earlier, building up that confidence and also having the confidence to say, as I'm going forward, this isn't what I'm interested in. Having enough confidence sometimes to bow out or just move and go change up whatever you were going to do. That's not a failure or a quitter. You got to understand a lot of times what you think you want to do is not always going to end up the way you thought it was going to end up. And that goes with life in general. And you're going to crash and burn. I can assure you most likely. No one bats 1,000. I always talk about no one goes unscathed. So you're going to go through situations in your life where you feel very confident and then you get shot down. Other times it may work out. That can go for anything you do in your life. But I would say just work on, if you do get shattered, like I kind of said earlier, is building up that confidence and understanding you can build it back up. Don't think it's gone forever. It may take a lot longer than you think, that I can assure you. And that doesn't mean, again, you're not going to keep failing as you go forward. But if you have the mindset that you are confident in yourself in what you want to go after, it's there for the taking, I believe. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to go watch some football. If you get a chance, richcelenza.com. I'm all over the place. And I'm also been doing some podcasts with my co-host, Robert Beninati. I want to do some more funny ones with him. He's actually hysterical lately. We've been laughing our asses off. Something more, little not so serious. All right, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.